Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. I got good news that the God that we serve is not sleeping. He knows about your worries. He knows about your concerns. And he told me to say it again, that you would hear from him the next place to go. When it was a time of drought, he spoke to Elijah and told him to go to the brook Zarephath. I don't know what God is saying to you, but for every season that you are in your life, you must seek a word. Somebody asked me, you keep saying hear from God. How do I hear from God? There are so many ways to hear from God. You hear from God when you have a relationship with him. You can hear him while you are praying. Some people pray and they are not attentive to hear. When you stand in the watch of prayer, you must be also willing to hear God. In most of the dark seasons of my life, what kept me alive, what brought light, was the word that I held on to. God has always spoken to me in seasons of my life. That is why I don't ever say anything without saying, hear from God. So today, God will give you a word. It can be in your bathroom. It can be as you are going out on the road. It can be through a friend. It can be through a colleague. It can be you hearing it audibly. But he says to tell you that you have to be calming down. You don't have to be anxious for anything. The seasons may be like a valley season. It may be like a drought season. It may be like a wilderness season. But God always comes through. He came through for Elijah. He told him, go to the brook. When he went there to the brook Cherith, God used the most unlikely thing to give him supply, which was a raven. The God that we serve can use the most unlikely thing to bring you solution. Do not look down on the things of people around you, because God always uses unusual things. And I want to remind you before we log off today that sometimes and most often the brook dries. And when the brook dries does not mean end of life. It means end of one chapter, going to another chapter. Because when the brook dried, God took him to a widow's house. God will always lead you. I pray for you today that you will allow God to lead you and that you will hear God in every season. God bless you and shalom. Have a beautiful